Fever! Hello everyone, it's Lel and it's time to talk about episode 45 from Tropical-Rouge Precure. This episode started with the girls fighting against Butler, and I wish we had one more episode for this final arc and the final fight, since things felt super rushed, but for a good reason that I'll talk about later. The first thing that I want to comment on is that I wanted to understand more of the villain's background and also the whole story of the dark energy and the fool's casket. But what really bugs me the most is that we know that the villains, Shongire, Elda, and Numeri, they had wishes that they wanted fulfilled, and we didn't see that in this episode. And I think we won't see that in the next one since they already said their goodbyes. If they do say something and appear in the next episode, I'm gonna be super thrilled because I really want to see more of them. Well, let's comment on the fight itself. First, we see Aozora City and the people trying to manage the lack of motivation. We see not everyone had their motivation stolen. Probably the people who already had them stolen in the first place are now immune. So it was nice seeing them manage. But there were two important scenes. One with Manatsu's parents talking. Manatsu's mom knowing she was okay with the note that Laura left. And that's kind of like the motherly instinct for you. And there was also Yuriko knowing that Asuka and the girls were fighting hard to protect them. That was super cool. The fight started the best way possible for me. We had some nice dialogues between Butler and the villains, which gives them more personality. Since I loved them dearly, I was super happy. The fact that they didn't have much motivation in the first place, so Butler's steal didn't make a strong impact on them, very well thought. And Elda giving Manatsu her pact back with her Yarane de Ball animation, super nice too. Elda and Manatsu also have a story, so it was a nice touch. The villains also showing their powers was so cool. Shongire, I love you so much. How can you be so handsome? Oh my god. Elda and Numeri were also great. I really wanted to see their powers, so I really love when we have the villains helping the cures. So seeing that in this episode, chef's kiss. And the fight. Wow, the fight. It was super fast. Yes. Lots of things packed into a few minutes. Yes. But still, so cool. Yoshiyama Yu, the animator, did God's work. There was so much impact, so many great frames, so many intense moments. It was great seeing them fight more physically and everything was just gorgeous. Flamingo's little scene specifically really called my attention. What was that? And I also loved the villains fighting against the monsters, as I mentioned, but it would be nice if we could see the girls fighting against them too. Just imagine something like that with this animation. It would be gorgeous. It was also nice seeing them try to use their individual attacks. It was suffering seeing them not work, but one, that was to be expected, and two, it created some great scenes nonetheless. Coral with her multiple shields also looked very cool. She tried her best. So when they were defeated and they were in the dark, it was so nice that Papaya was able to show more of her eye beam. It was used lots of times in the show, but it was the first time she didn't use it as an attack. And their dialogue about coming back to the stage and find a reason to stand up again was amazing. Oh, and there was complete silence. Manatsu wants to give everyone back their motivation. Laura wants to experience the tropical festival. Asuka wants to play tennis again in high school. Sango wants to share her concept of cute with the world. And Minori wants to create more stories. So they did what was most important for them at that moment, right now, the present. That's what Tropical-Rouge is all about. So they stood up again, got up, and presented us with the best attack in Precure history. Precure Super Tropical Paradise. What was that? I freaked out so much while watching. Cure Oasis is so amazing. Fever. I recorded my reaction to this attack and it's gonna be uploaded soon, so please check it out. I can just say that I have replayed it so many times already. Butler got a big Oasis slap after a little samba. I'm still over the moon with this attack. This is the best Precure attack I have ever seen. And that meant Butler's defeat. So he used his last motivation and filled up the Fool's Casket. It was very sad seeing Butler like that because I like him and he suffered. You know, he was suffering. He was sad. The world started getting destroyed and the girls needed to get the motivation back. How? The Aquapot is finally restored. It was so cool seeing that Grand Ocean can move freely, makes sense with its island design. And it was also great that we were able to see a little bit more of the people from Grand Ocean that had no motivation. For the longest time, I thought the Queen was just standing there the whole time, doing nothing. But that wasn't true. She really took care of everyone from Grand Ocean, and a few shots were enough to say that. And we had a nice scene of La Mer getting the motivation back. But here's when I believe the pacing suffered the most. Fool's Casket was such a mysterious item and its usage was hinted so many times, but all of its problems were solved so easily. The scene was awesome for sure though, the Cures getting together to help Laura retrieve it all. I loved it, but still wanted something more. And then everything started crumbling and it hopped in Grand Ocean while it got to the surface. And when they reached the surface, what a beautiful scene. Everybody getting their motivation back after La Mer released it. Incredible. It kind of looked like a Precure movie to me. The Kururun scene with Manatsu's mom. Kururun is the best mascot ever. You cannot top that. And the way Laura was happy while telling the girls Grand Ocean was back, that really got me emotional. That scene of the 5 girls in a hug in front of restored Grand Ocean is the essence of Tropical-Rouge to me. Then we had the Queen thanking the girls for everything that happened, but we still had Butler's little motivation to deal with. That was probably there for the villains to have a little closure, and that was a sweet scene nonetheless. I liked that they didn't give Butler's motivation back because it could be dangerous and it simply vanished. This is a big potential for a sequel to animation. And then we had a cute goodbye scene with the villains. I really hope they appear next to episode 2. I love them so much. I hope they're tropicalizing, as Manatsu said. So getting back to their mundane lives, here's when I think that the fast fight and the fast pace of the first half of the episode really paid off. Tropical-Rouge isn't really about mermaid legends and stories about girls getting magical powers. I mean, it is somehow. But the core of Tropical-Rouge to me is the girls enjoying the present lives that they have. And the present lives that they have is so closely related to the Tropical Club. In the last part of the episode, we see that Minori decided that the last scene of the play is going to be about the girls being friends forever, as the Tropical Club is. Is that really true? We will discover that next week. And I also loved seeing how the Tropical Club is needed. Everyone looks at them for advice, for help. This is so in touch with everything that the series has shown in its whole story. The girls fought very hard to have this inviting and helpful club. I'm very happy for them. We had a great scene with Asuka and Yuriko, with Yuriko obviously knowing the truth about what happened to the world, but Asuka definitely did not want to admit that she was one of the heroes that saved us. The moms coming in and helping them with their sleepover at school was so cute. And so were their sleeping bags. What was that? Their designs were so creative and different. I love how Tropical-Rouge goes all out. And then we had a surprising scene, at least to me, of the girls mentioning Asuka will graduate. And she said they'll get new members for the Tropical Club, and it will keep on existing. I never really thought of the Tropical Club continuing without any of them, but it makes sense. And the girls being called senpai and loving it? I just love how they just let the girls be children. And the girls also not getting Minori's pun and it having to be explained. Golden. And Laura getting a lucky ticket in the melon bread. That obviously connects to her own golden ticket, her dream of becoming the queen. And this dream has been fulfilled. Among Us, Manatsu sees that Laura isn't there sleeping with them. She is with the queen, talking to her through the dresser. And the queen is ready to crown Laura as the queen. Wow, Laura really made it. But Grand Ocean is moving to another part of the sea, and Laura will have to go with them. But the queen left her with a choice: either go with them or stay with her friends and live her life as a human. The scene itself was super beautiful. Both Laura's and the queen's voice actors outdid themselves. Also, the emotional soundtrack. Just remembering it makes me tear-eyed. Laura will now make her own decision. What will it be? It's funny because in the last few seasons of Precure, the episode before the last usually answered all of our questions. It gave us that emotional beating, and the last episode was used as an epilogue. A chill last goodbye to those characters we learned to love after a whole year with them. With Tropical-Rouge, things are different. We don't know what to expect. We don't know what Laura will choose. Heck, we don't even know why the mermaids have their memories erased in the first place. So I am here, at the edge of my seat, desperate, knowing I'm gonna have to wait a whole week to know what's gonna happen in this story I came to love so much. And Laura, our queen, the mermaid we always wanted to see in Precure, she is faced with a big dilemma. How are things gonna be for her? The suspense is killing me. Tropical-Rouge, thank you so much for blessing us with so much awesomeness. I'm sure next week will be just as amazing. And we also have a possible Cure Precious cameo too. I can't wait. Anyways, episode 45 really brought that emotion. It brought that animation. It brought that storyline. It brought everything that I wanted. And I want more. And I'm sure episode 46 will bring that to us next week. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and a special thank you to the members of the Magical Cinnamon channel. Thank you so much for staying here with me and support me. Thank you very, very much for this. And if you've watched up until now, thank you so much as well. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye-bye.